Hey guys, it's Leanne. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is all about the HAYES Makeup X Home and Bargain makeup range. So I've picked up the beauty sponge and look at the packaging. So I've picked up one of the lashes. So this is the HAYES Makeup Dramatic Volume Lashes in the style Harper. And again, I just love the pink and red and I love the little star theme. I also picked up the Face Collection brush set. I did pick up the brush bag. So if you do want to see my honest thoughts and opinions on the range and whether I would personally recommend it, then obviously stick around and keep on watching. Now this review I actually couldn't wait to review because Kate Hayes is actually a makeup artist from Liverpool, so I'm so happy to see someone else from my city do so well. So this is Kate here. Like, maybe you might know her from Instagram. She's got like quite a big following. I am really inspired by everything she's achieved, especially because she's just a regular girl from Liverpool. You know, it's just extra special because obviously she's from my city, and it just shows what you can do with hard work, dedication, motivation, ambition. But we'll talk more about Kate Hayes in a minute during the tutorial. But before we do jump into the tutorial / review, don't forget to like this video and show your support. Leave me some feedback in the comment section, and also don't forget to subscribe. So the first product that I picked up from the Kate Hayes X Home and Bargain makeup range was the makeup sponge applicator. So this is what the sponge looks like in the packaging, and I did pick up two of these. On one side the sponge is quite flat. I hope that you can see that it's quite flat. Then it's like quite rounded with a point, which is good for getting obviously on the under eyes, and then here it's leveled off again, as you can see. So I don't think I own another makeup sponge that is in this exact shape. When I first picked it up and, you know, squished it together when it didn't have any water on, when it wasn't damp, it was really hard and it just gave me a bad vibe. I just thought, oh, it's going to be so hard and really not comfortable to bounce makeup into the face. But now that I've actually, you know, run it under some water and made it really damp, it's doubled in size as most sponges do, and it's actually really soft. So I am actually excited to try this. Now the reason that I picked up two is because in December I'm going to be doing a massive giveaway. So I've picked up two because I decided to put one in the giveaway box. There are two colours, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that. One's a cerise pink and one is a baby pink. A deep pink and a more light pink. So the light pink one is going in the goodie bag makeup giveaway for December. So the next product that I picked up was some Kate Hayes Makeup Dramatic Volume Lashes. So these are in the style Harper. So I think she's brought out 3 lash styles. The other one's called Olive and Holly, I think, and this one is Harper. So it actually comes with a little bit of glue, and as you can see they are a very dramatic lash style. So I am excited to try these, and these were £1.99 and the sponge was also £1.99. I also did pick up the brush set. So I've picked up the Kate Hayes Makeup Cosmetic Face Brush with 2-in-1 case and stands. So you get 4 brushes. Now these are all for the face, so you get a contour brush, a foundation brush, a cheek brush and a concealer brush. So this one here is the conceal brush, this one here is the cheek brush, this one is the foundation brush, and this one is the contour brush. So these were £5.99, which again is so inexpensive for basically a full set of face brushes and a case. But for me, I think that's a reasonable price, and you do actually get a little case inside as well. So I'm going to be using the brushes today on the face and the sponge on the face. So I'll be going in with the foundation brush on one side and the sponge on the other side, just to compare which sides that we actually prefer. The thing that I picked up from the range was this brush bag. So this is more probably for makeup artists, it's probably more practical for makeup artists, but it's a see-through brush bag and the lid lifts up like that, and inside there's 4 compartments, so 2 bigger ones at the front and 2 smaller ones at the back. But I did actually do some clients at the weekend mobile, as in I went out to their home, and this actually really did come in useful, so I definitely recommend that. And that was £5.99, I think. Yeah, £5.99, so definitely worth it. And then on the side, as you see, it's got the little Kate Hayes makeup logo. So I did actually purchase the eye brush set. So there's a 12-piece eye brush set, which was also £5.99, I think. But I actually ordered online, and then I got an email through saying, sorry, there's been an issue with stock, so they must have sold out. So today I'm just going to be demonstrating more the base brushes and obviously the sponge, and we'll be trying the lashes. So this is them out of the case. So it's just a little black case, and then it's got a little Velcro thing that you can just attach like that. And then if you do clip it together underneath, if you do put the Velcro together, you can actually have it standing up just like that. But I haven't actually quite figured out how to make it really stand up yet. Kind of stands up better like that on its side rather than the way I've just shown you. Rather than like that, it actually stands up better like that. So either way, it works, but yeah. So I'm just going to be priming the skin first. Okay, so on the brushes as well, they actually say what each brush is for, which is good because some of them look kind of similar. Well, I found those two look a little bit similar. So this one is the contour brush and this one is the foundation brush. Now, this is a brush for concealing, so it's a really quite an angled brush, an angled flat brush. But for me, I would never normally use a brush like this to conceal, so this is going to be strange to conceal with a brush like this, but I'm definitely going to give it a try anyway. And then this is the cheek brush, so obviously that would be for blusher. So for foundation today, I'm going to be going in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. Now I'm in the shade Golden Beige, and I actually love this foundation. I actually forgot how much I adore it, but I used it the other day and I could not believe how good the skin looked. And this foundation is cruelty free and vegan as well. So I'm just using the little spatula that actually comes with the foundation. And then now I'm going to be going in on the right side of the face with the foundation brush. Now I just normally pat foundation into the skin to give the most full coverage effect when using a brush or a beauty blender really as well. I don't normally swipe or rub, so I'm just going to be doing the same with this brush. Now for me personally, this brush feels far too soft to be a foundation brush. This to me feels more like a brush that I would use with powder. So this to me feels like more a contour brush or maybe even a blush brush. I would probably not reach for this type of brush for foundation. So it does feel really, really soft. So far, it definitely just feels so weird doing this with this brush. It just feels too soft and fluffy to be a foundation brush. So it is actually applying quite nice. The foundation is actually applying quite nice, but I've got to admit that doing it with this brush is harder work than I would normally like to have to do in my everyday face routine. It's definitely taking a little bit longer for me personally, whether that's just because I'm not used to using this type of brush to apply foundation, but it's definitely taken a little bit longer. So on this side now, the beauty sponge. And I already just know I'm definitely going to prefer the beauty sponge side in terms of application. I'm not sure in terms of the finish on the skin, but I do think that actually applying the foundation is going to be easier with this, and I'm probably going to prefer this. So here goes. Okay, this side was so much quicker and easier to apply with this than it is to use the foundation brush. So as you can see, I'm just using the flat end of the sponge to really pat the foundation into the skin, and this seems to be working out quite well in terms of giving me quite a full coverage. So again, on this side, to apply concealer, I'm going to be buffing it in with the beauty sponge, and on this side I'm going to be going in with the concealer brush, which is going to be so weird because, like I explained, I just would not use a brush like this for concealer. I'd rather have used this for foundation. I do actually enjoy trying other makeup artists' techniques and seeing what brushes they would use to apply certain products. So I'm going to go in with the conceal brush now. Now it doesn't actually say concealer, but I'll just read out what it says on the back about this brush. Okay, so even though it doesn't say concealer brush, it just says conceal brush. On the back, there's a little bit of information about each brush. Conceal brush, the perfect brush applicator to give your under eyes a flawless look without a filter. So we'll see about that, Kate. Okay, surprisingly, this is actually blending away really nice with this brush. Okay, I actually really do like this. Okay, so that has literally blended away flawlessly with this brush. So I am actually impressed and quite shocked really that this conceal brush did do the trick. And it feels so soft, these brushes, by the way. They do really feel so nice and soft. So I'm going to do this side with the sponge. Just taking the flat tip. And then I'm going to be taking the more rounded tip. Okay, so straight away I'm noticing that the brush is a lot easier to blend out the concealer. So I am actually going to be using the brush. Or is that cheating? Yeah, no, we'll stick with the blender. We'll stick with the blender to just blend away the concealer, just so we can get a real fair test of how the products work. So I will be setting the under eye, and I'm going to go in with this flat tip at the top, as that looks like the perfect shape to get just under the eye. Okay, so I've noticed as well that the actual side that I use the concealer brush is not as creasy as this side. So the side with the blender, the concealer's definitely creased a little bit more. So I'm going in now to try and just remove the creases from the under eye. So one thing that's just come to mind when I've just looked at all the makeup in front of me is that from this set there is not actually a highlight brush. So I feel like that's the only thing missing from this collection. Foundation, concealer, cheek, contour. Yeah, so I actually feel like the only thing missing from this is a highlighting brush. But for £5.99 or £4.99, I don't think I can complain, but I'm just pointing out that basically, you know, there is no highlighter brush in this set. So I'm going to be going in now with the contour brush. Now, normally I would use a brush this shape, like a dome-shaped brush, more for blusher, but I am going to be using it in the way that it's recommended. But firstly, I'm going to be dusting off the under eye bake, and to dust that off, I'll be using the cheek brush from the HAYES Makeup Home and Bargain collection. And this feels really nice. This brush feels so soft. It literally feels like silk. Okay, so that's the powder dusted off. I'm not sure if anyone can see a difference from each under eye on the side that I use the conceal brush versus the side that I use the sponge. I'm not sure yet whether I can see a difference. I don't think I can. But as I said, when applying it, the sponge was definitely, the side with the sponge definitely creased on the under eye more than the side I use with the conceal brush. So now for contour. Okay, so the contour's applying. Quite nice, and it's quite easy to use for contour, this brush. It's quite easy, like the bristles are really soft, and again, as I explained, this is not a brush that I would normally use for contour, but it's actually working out fine. Okay, so now moving on to the cheek brush. Now for the cheek brush, this is absolutely huge. So for me, a brush this size in my collection is normally used to dust off powder, as you've seen me do then, or to just bronze all over the face, or to just set the whole face with a setting powder. So for me, this is going to be really strange using a brush this large for blush. I'm actually finding it quite hard with this brush to build up a good pigment on the cheeks, really. I'm having to really go back in. It looks really natural though, it does look really natural using a bigger brush like this. Okay, so it's definitely taken me a little bit longer to build up the blush because obviously it's such a big fluffy brush that the product is less concentrated in one area. I'm not really too sure how I feel about this being used for blusher, but to be fair, it is actually giving me a really natural finish. So maybe there is something to using a really big fluffy brush rather than using a smaller brush, because sometimes I think on camera my blush can look really harsh, whereas today it doesn't actually look really harsh. That could have something to do with using a bigger brush, but again, as I explained, it just seems to take a little bit longer. So I'm just going to read out really quick what the description is about each brush. So on the blush brush it says, the cheek brush, to apply your blusher or bronzer smoothly with a perfect shaped head to go in line with your cheekbones, giving them a defined look. This is actually for bronzer or blusher. We've already read out the concealer brush, but again it just says the perfect brush applicator to give your under eyes a flawless look without a filter. and I would agree, I do think the under eye looks flawless where I've used the brush. So the contour brush, the ideal brush to help you achieve a defined contour to the face, and so far it's done that, but it wouldn't be my choice to use a brush like that. Foundation brush. With Kate's tips, this brush head is set to give you a flawless and smooth finish to your foundation. So I do feel like the foundation is actually flawless and smooth, but again, I probably wouldn't use that brush again for foundation. It was just a lot more hard work than necessary, and the bristles were too soft to fully pack on the foundation, I thought anyway. There's a little bit of information about Kate Hayes here as well. So Kate Hayes is a professional makeup artist and beauty blogger. Join Kate online for free online classes and tutorials via @KateHayes Makeup Instagram page. Now I'm going to read out what the sponge says. Our latex free makeup sponge is perfect for liquid, powder or cream makeup. The sponge is great for finer detailing, providing a smooth and soft finish. So I would agree, I am really impressed with the sponge. I can't believe that the sponge is literally £1.99, and I love that it's got a flat edge, a round edge, a point, but then here this side is flat too, so that was perfect for picking up the powder. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more powder now, just to carve out underneath the contour, and I'm going to be using this side again, the more angled side. So I'm just going to go and apply the rest of the makeup off camera, and I will also be applying the lashes. So I was actually about to use the eyelash glue that came with the actual eyelashes, but when I went to open it, as you can see here, it's actually already dried. Yeah, that's the reason why I can't use that. It's already all dried up, as you can see. Literally nothing's coming out. So, but I'm not really complaining too much. The lashes were only £1.99, but yeah, I just wanted to be honest about that because I can't use that lash glue. So I'm just going to go in with the Duo lash glue. I'm going to go in with this lash glue now. So this is how the lashes are looking now that I've applied them, and they are a very, very dramatic style. So this is the style Harper, just to remind everyone. So they are a really dramatic style, and I do think obviously they would look gorgeous with obviously a really nice smoky eye or a really dramatic eyeshadow. But for right now, they still look actually quite nice, even though I've just got obviously minimal face makeup on and no eyeshadow. So I do actually like the lashes and definitely would recommend them. Again, £1.99, literally can't complain. They were quite easy to put on as well. So yeah, I'm impressed so far. Would I actually recommend the Kate Hayes makeup range? I definitely would. I think that the value of the range is fantastic. £1.99 for the beauty sponge, and it really does work as good as probably some sponges that I own that are a lot more expensive. I'm not going to say as good as a beauty blender, but definitely some other sponges that I own, and I think that this one does literally as good of a job. Especially the part at the end, the flat tip, that was really good for giving me a full coverage foundation, and it really sped things up as well. So I love the sponge. I definitely recommend that. I did love the conceal brush, and I do like these brushes. I like all the brushes. So overall, I would actually recommend the brushes. They're definitely worth it. Good value for money. They feel so soft, and obviously you can do a lot more things with them than just what they're supposed to be for. So for example, the conceal brush, you don't just have to conceal. I could definitely apply foundation with that, or even powder to bake underneath the contour. So I definitely would recommend them, and just switch up and use them however you prefer to use them. So I'll still definitely be using them, although the foundation brush, I definitely won't be using that for foundation. I weren't really into it, and it was just more hard work. But I would definitely use that for blush or maybe even contour. So overall, I am really impressed. I do love the lashes, and I am actually even more impressed with the little brush bag. I think that that is gorgeous, and like I said, I used it last weekend for clients, and it did actually save a lot of like storage space in my case that I actually take with me to clients. So yeah, and it's easy because obviously it's a bag, you can just carry it, and it was just so easy to carry all the brushes around. So yeah, definitely recommend the Kate Hayes and Home and Bargains makeup range. Now I don't actually know if this range is cruelty free. I will try and find out, but so far there's no like signs on the packaging to say if it's cruelty free or not. but I hope that it is anyway. So let me know what you think of the brushes and the other products I've tried. Now there are more products to the range, but this is the only thing that I wanted apart from the eye brush set. Let me know your thoughts if you've tried this range or if this tutorial has inspired you to go out and try any of the products from this range. But I'm going to wrap the tutorial up now, guys, because that's my only thought on this range, that I definitely recommend it. It's good value for money. And I really do like the little extras that you get. So you get the brush stand, the little brush case, and I love the packaging, everything, so I definitely 100% recommend it. But as I've explained, I'll just switch up how I personally use the brushes. But I'm obsessed with the conceal brush. You need to try the conceal brush. That is literally amazing. And it's definitely a new technique for me. I'll definitely be using this quite a bit more and using similar brushes that I own from other brands as well to try out that technique of patting the concealer in with a angle brush like this. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching and sticking around to the very end. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave me some feedback about the products in the comment section. Turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss any makeup reviews and makeup tutorials, and I'll see you in my next video.